Hello and welcome to SENDIASS Rutland.
Preparing for adulthood, Year 9 plus. Is your child approaching Year 9 at school? Do you want to know what choices are available for your child? Are you looking for support to help your child transition into adulthood? All schools and settings providing education for young people with EHC plans will hold annual reviews of EHC plans in accordance with the SEND Code of Practice 2015. Preparing for adulthood should start as early as possible, but all annual reviews of EHC plans from Year 9 onwards must include a focus on preparing for adulthood. The 4 pathways. The SEND Code of Practice 2015 describes preparing for adulthood as having 4 pathways. Education and employment. This pathway explores different education, training and employment options. Independent living. This pathway looks at accommodation and living arrangements along with available support. Friends, relationships and community involvement. This pathway identifies opportunities for participating in and contributing to the local community as well as how to stay safe. Good health. This pathway supports being as healthy as possible in adult life. Education, employment and training. All young people must continue in some form of education or training until their 18th birthday. Young people, parents and carers and practitioners should start thinking of all preparing for adulthood (PFA) outcomes no later than when a young person is in Year 9. All young people are entitled to careers information, advice and guidance from the age of 12 years. This is something which should be available from their school. For example, if a young person would like to do a certain type of job, they can ask for support in choosing the courses pre- and post-16 that could help them get a job in that area. EHC plans can stay with young people up to the age of 25 if they're accessing education or training, unless the local authority becomes no longer responsible for the young person or it is no longer necessary for the EHC plan to be maintained. Careers guidance. Careers guidance officers in school can explore options and advise young people on areas like education and training providers, including mainstream and specialist, post-16 and 18 course options, finishing college and employment applications, financial support and transport, apprenticeships, traineeships, supported internships, university, work experience, volunteering, and signposting to agencies to access additional support. Independent living. Young people should have choice, control and freedom over their lives and the support they have. In accordance with the Mental Capacity Act 2005, from 16 years, young people who have a learning disability or autism should be assumed to have capacity to make decisions regarding their care and well-being unless there are concerns raised around the young person's ability to make decisions. Prior to young people turning 16 years of age, parents or carers will have made decisions on behalf of or with their young person. However, once a young person becomes 16, providing they have mental capacity, they are able to make their own choices and decisions. The Mental Capacity Act 2005 specifies the following rights of individuals. Individuals will be assumed to have capacity unless they have had an assessment identifying that they don't. Capacity is time and decision specific, which means that just because an individual lacks capacity to make one decision, it does not automatically mean that they lack capacity in relation to making other decisions. If an individual is considered not to have capacity, any decisions made for them should be made in their best interests. An individual's liberty, freedom, can only be taken away from them in very specific situations. This is called a deprivation of liberty, and it should only be used if it is the least restrictive way of keeping the individual safe or making sure that they receive the right medical treatment. Mental capacity, best interest and decisions. Mental capacity is the ability to make a decision. Someone lacks mental capacity when they're unable to make a particular decision at the time it needs to be made due to an inability to understand information about the decision, remember that information long enough to make a decision, use or consider that information when they make a decision, and communicate their decision. When considering independent living, it is important to ensure the housing options being considered meet the needs of the person. Therefore, an adult care and support assessment may be required. This will determine what support is required to ensure an individual can live independently and the housing options being considered is suitable. Friends, relationships, and community involvement. Family, friends, and community networks can improve health and well-being. A sense of belonging within the community helps to promote inclusion, acceptance, and can enable people to develop and maintain their independence. The ability to make friends and stay in touch is an important part of life, and to be included within the wider community as a valued member is important. You can make plans to stay in touch to maintain existing friendships. This can be done before transitioning into adulthood. You can make new friends through social groups, community activities, or social gatherings, and by understanding social boundaries. There are many activities that take place within community centres, local churches, or other religious establishments across the city. Think about the support you will have to travel to and from activities and what support you will need when there. A friend or family member who has an interest in the activity or a personal assistant could support you. Good health. Good health impacts on all aspects of life, and the ability to maintain good health increases opportunities for independence. Young people are supported to manage their own health as they move into adulthood. Individuals with long-term health conditions may require additional support to manage and to promote access to mainstream health services to prevent deterioration. GP practices are the first point of contact with the NHS for most patients. A GP practice is a team of health professionals led by doctors called GPs who look after the physical, mental, and social aspects of your health. Registering with a GP practice will allow you to access a wide range of services, including consultations and advice about your health, prescriptions for medicines, tests to diagnose what is wrong with you, a referral to a specialist service, monitoring and care for any long-term health problems, screening, vaccinations and advice to help prevent health problems or diagnosing them as early as possible. If you have a learning disability, you can ask to be put on your GP's learning disability register. From age 14, you can have an annual health check with your GP. Direct payments. What happens when the young person reaches 18? If the young person has an EHCP, you can request certain things through the personal budget section in the plan. Simply, a cash personal budget paid to the young person through a direct payment is a cash alternative to the local authority arranging their care. It is paid to the young person so they can organise their care themselves. It is not a benefit, so it won't interfere with any other benefits they might get, and it is not income, so it is not taxable. The Council has an in-house direct payment support service to support individuals who are in receipt of a direct payment. Young people can be allocated a direct payments worker and will be supported through the process. If the young person receiving the budget lacks capacity, a family member or friend can receive it on their behalf. Ceasing an education, health and care plan. The local authority may decide to cease to maintain an EHC plan at any time, but they can only do so if the local authority is no longer responsible for the young person or if it is no longer necessary to maintain it. These are the only reasons for ceasing to maintain an EHC plan, and they are set out in Section 45 of the Children and Families Act 2014. The local authority would no longer be responsible if the young person has taken up paid employment, excluding apprenticeships, the young person has started higher education, so university, a young person aged 18 or over has left education and no longer wishes to engage in further learning, the young person has turned 25, or the young person has moved to a different local authority.
SENDIASS can offer support and advice. Email us on info@sendiassrutland.org.uk. Call us on 07977 015 674. Facebook us at SENDIASS Rutland or contact us on Twitter at SENDIASSR.
Useful contacts to help you in preparing for adulthood. The Council for Disabled Children. You can find information and resources about a range of topics relating to SEND. Please visit www.councilfordisabledchildren.org.uk. IPSE, the independent provider of special education advice, known as IPSE. IPSE can offer free and independent, legally based information, advice and support to help get the right education for children and young people with all kinds of special educational needs and disabilities. Please visit www.ipsea.org.uk. Contact are a national charity for families with disabled children and young people. Contact supports families with guidance and information. Please visit www.contact.org.uk.